Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip.
Chip.
What is going on? Man, what a great night. And, earlier today you said, should we lead with XRP is up 28%? What?
Heck
Holy
yeah.
cow. And it really is. I mean, XRP blowing through the roof at 28% increase today, it looks like, right? Up today. Flare
24 hours.
airdrop is approaching. And the big question that you posed here is how can you become a crypto citizen? Well, guess what? We're going to find out tonight.
We're about to find out right now. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Yo. Welcome, Jeff. Look at you. A little bit of a different. You're out of the OTC studio, looks like.
I am. I got this beautiful white background.
Nice. Beautiful white background. How's everybody doing tonight? Drop the city and the country in the chat. Really great to have everybody here. We're going to break down a lot of stuff. We're going to get into some XRP news. And as Jeff teased there in the intro, there's some cool stuff going on. As always, Jeff, there's good stuff going on. You can be somebody who says the glass is half full, or you can be that Debbie Downer and say the glass is half empty. You can kind of choose to see it how you want to see it. But after last night and hanging out with Blockchain Backer was so refreshing. And it's kind of weird. He comes on OTC and XRP goes on a tear. Isn't that weird timing, Jeff? It's kind of quinkydinky, huh?
Oh, people were even commenting last night as we were wrapping up the stream. They're like, XRP is blowing up. And so
it was a weird thing.
I don't know if one had to do with the other, but we could insinuate, but no. So XRP panic, did we pick up any subs? In fact,
hell yeah,
actually, leading up to last night, it was actually a little bit of a nice boost for On the Chain. Now over 23,000, on our way to 24,000. So big momentum there. It's always great to have everybody back with us. Give a quick shout out where you guys are tuning in from, because we know we have people tuning in from all over the world, and we got Matt tuning in from New Zealand.
Yeah.
And that says Aotearoa.
Kiwis. I love it. I gotta go there one day, Jeff. I hope I make it. Right. Hope I make it over there.
New Zealand would be awesome. I
hope I make it over there, man. It's like such beautiful, just everything, people, culture, everything. It's
Helmut Castaneda.
And they speak English, which is good for me since I speak one language. And I do speak a little Spanish.
They speak a little English over there in New Zealand, I think, don't they?
I heard they do, Jeff, and it's a very good thing. I got to tell you something. So let's get started with this. So we got some other stuff we're going to move on to, but I want to show this right here. But look at this here, Jeff. This is funny. This is from Market Watch. Market Watch being a very well-known, sizable sort of an outlet. And look at how the lead is on this story. Ripple leads the way as largest cryptocurrency post gains. No, people. It's XRP leads the way. Okay.
XRP is leading the way as far as a crypto.
But then, Jeff, you got to check this out. Look at who wrote this. This is Market Watch Automation. So is this a bot writing this story?
Yeah.
Right here.
Is it? Is it?
Look at Rob XRP. By the way, you guys ought to be all following Rob XRP, who puts out amazing content as well, has a great Patreon. Got my Death Wish coffee ready to enjoy your amazing show. Thank you, Rob XRP. Really appreciate that. Death Wish coffee at this time? This is like
story about that, Chip. I ran to the store and I said, where I'm at, I can't cook up espresso. So I said, what, the next best thing, I'm going to get the pods.
Okay. All right.
The pods that I got don't fit the pod in the machine that's here. But the funny thing is, I got Death Wish coffee pods. So hang on a second. Hang on.
Yeah, go get those, Jeff. So while he's doing that, we will. There he is. That was a quick one. What do you got there, Jeff?
Just for Rob XRP.
What you got there? Death Wish. Oh my gosh.
Death Wish. It's funny. He brings up the Death Wish. And check it out. They're in pod form. Look at that.
Yeah, that's.
If you have one of those machines.
That's a
I don't
Keurig, right?
have one of these at home.
That's a Keurig?
Oh yeah, I guess that's what that would be.
Well,
you put
Jeff, I
these
got a
things in.
Keurig, so ship them over this way. So I got a Keurig that I used every
Oh.
single day. So there you go. Ship me some. How
There
do you
you
not
go.
have a Keurig, Jeff? Everyone has a Keurig. It's the greatest thing known to man.
Yeah, we just have the espresso makers you put on the stove.
Well, I know that, but I mean, like, you want just a regular cup of Joe or a certain kind of Joe, you can just do that. But
K-cups. That's what it's called, a
it's called the
K-cup.
K-cup, but it's for a Keurig machine. Let's put it that way.
No, I get it.
But look at this.
Okay.
This is Market Watch Automation. So this is like some kind of a bot supported by World Class. I don't even know what this is. So I don't know if a bot's writing this story. But again, it's good to see something almost right on Market Watch. The idea behind it is fantastic. Ripple leads the way as largest crypto post gains. And of course, they are talking about none other than XRP. It says of the largest cryptocurrencies were up during the morning trading on Monday, with XRP seeing the biggest change, surging almost 15% to 78 cents. Now that was this morning. It's
Now
up
it's up in the
28% on the 24. On the 24 hour, which is great. But then, you look at some of these other ones, Bitcoin Cash, 2%, Polkadot posted 1.15%. Why is Litecoin still always, Jeff, why is Litecoin always in here? And then Blockchain Bagger brought that up last night.
It's going to continue to be relevant because it was one of the first out, and Litecoin was always considered to be the silver to Bitcoin's gold. And so somehow Litecoin is going to continue to have some relevance.
But there's so many other great projects now, and they still are feeding it with the and then they get into some other traditional holdings like Overstock was up 0.3. And you look at the percentages there. PayPal, obviously another company destroying itself from within, minus 3.70%.
They're doing good, just like Meta.
Yeah,
Meta rushing it too.
Well, it's also funny that everyone started deleting their accounts, Jeff. They just don't care.
Right.
Zuck the Buck said he threatened to pull out of Europe. And everyone's like, well, I'll tell you what, we'll give you a head start. We'll start deleting our accounts. We don't need you. Which I thought was pretty funny, really. Pretty funny. So this is a really good story right here. I really like that lead. And there's another one here as well. Let's get into this.
A lot of commentary on Litecoin.
Where in the chat over there?
Yeah, I mean, look at Andrew Smith is saying Litecoin ATMs are everywhere, cheap, fast, and private. So there is something to be said about that project. It's still hanging in there.
Okay. I've never seen those, but not down here in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, XRP becomes 24-hour top gainer with 28.2% surge. Now, this is, at least they get it right, XRP. But again, there's always that. And it's funny. It seems like with the bigger outlets, this is from CoinCora, which I don't even know if we've ever had that on here before.
I'm sure we've somehow found our way.
And it still remains one of the top 10, Jeff. Barely, but it's there. It's a top 10 cryptocurrency. Many other cryptos like Bitcoin, ADA, Doge, SHIB are also seeing value hikes. It's funny. We talked about SHIB last night too. Today, XRP opened up at a value at 0.6, continues to grow ahead of an upward trend. Look at that. That is just so nice to see.
Especially look at that consolidation there at the bottom, and it just finally, a little bit of momentum. I wonder what was pulling the momentum overall. There's some positivity in the market. Is Bitcoin rallying? What exactly is going on? I know that there's some Canadian firms, and we'll get into that later, that are actually getting ready to, or are moving some of their treasuries over into Bitcoin. Similar to MicroStrategy.
I don't know. Well, I'm hearing a lot of people talking about the death cross over there for, and that's, again, TA is not my thing. That's blockchain backer. You guys want TA? We had the best in the business, bar none. On yesterday's show. If you haven't seen it, well, what are you waiting for? Go down to chain.io, all of our interviews there. Click on the interview tab. You'll be able to watch them all on the chain.io. And then, Jeff, it's so pleasant to see these kind of memes again. This is a really good thing. Here we go. Today's been a good day. Long may it continue. This is from @PaulMac_1975. And he's just like that. We started talking about the moon and Lambos again.
Just like that.
Just like that, Jeff. Snap your finger.
That's pretty much how it happened.
It was a little price action.
Just like that.
And we're on top of the world. We're going to the moon.
Man,
we're going to the moon, Jeff. That's exactly where we're headed.
Overnight positivity.
Yeah, I
Get a
love to
little
see that.
FUD, a little FOMO, and overnight positivity. So it's outstanding.
Yeah,
A
that's always
lot of great things going on, and so it's interesting. So Hands Loaded said BCB doesn't talk about the death cross, and then
no.
we've got some coins that are coming out here. Rye Guy saying there's going to be a new Fed coin released by Biden called the ice cream coin as a new global currency.
That's funny stuff.
The
That's why I
sniff
love.
coin.
That's why I love the OTC family, the best and brightest that are out there, man. Clever as hell, Jeff. All of them. And then I saw this one here. JackTheRippler tweeted this cool video out. Of course, we can't play it because, trademark violations. But even though I would consider this fair use. But again, so this starts off with the speech of President Kennedy talk about we choose to go to the moon. They got that. We choose to go to the moon.
And then you show XRP.
And then XRP's in there because every time you mention moon, you got to put XRP everywhere, Jeff, that you see there. And then this one, Daz, who puts out some funny stuff. But this is me back off on this. Again, you just got to imagine David Bowie's Starman. This is from that astronaut movie. And this is, of course, Garlinghouse has taken over that role. This was, here we go. So it comes out saying he's alive. You can't hear it because I can't
the volume. Okay.
I can't play the audio because it's copyrighted, Jeff.
That's right.
But you see Garlinghouse on the moon in a spacesuit. He's hanging out there. Just says he's alive. That was a great movie. I don't know. What was the name of that movie? Astronaut or something? That's why I said you have to imagine that David Bowie's Starman is playing in the background because that's what
that's the song.
That's the tune. And if I put that on there.
You were just saying, imagine instead of what is playing, imagine if it was something better.
Well, imagine it was something we could actually play on here. That's the problem. I mean, a lot of times, and it's only a short little clip, but there you go.
Just saying, looking forward to the metaverse's interoperability within blockchain.
Within the blockchain, that's a lot.
You know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to the Target metaverse and the Walmart metaverse and the Publix metaverse, and then you don't have to go anywhere, and everyone will just spend all their time walking around, in the stores in their metaverse instead of shopping online. Second Life is launching their metaverse, and they were already a metaverse before any other metaverses existed.
Kind of. I mean,
they kind of had your life. You kind of walked around. They even had their own currency. Don't remember what it was called.
It's so sometimes things are just ahead of the curve by a little bit. And this was another interesting. And again, let's just ignore who is on it. But look at this JPMorgan report. Ripple correlates with Bitcoin. Again, they've interchanged the whole Ripple XRP problem again. Also, SEC lawsuit slows down XRP institutional adoption. But there are some bright points of this. Well, I want to see if I can get to a couple of them. Okay, so Michael,
chairman of market and investment strategy. Is he the one that said that, or they?
Yeah, Michael. Yes, Symbolist. He's the chairman of the market and investment strategy at JPMorgan Asset Management. He noted that between 2019 and 2020, Ripple reported five-fold growth in remittance transactions. And Ripple is considered a settlement network capable of completing 1,500 transactions per second, while Bitcoin and Ethereum are capable of 7 and 15 transactions per second.
Respectively.
Respectively. XRP price correlates with BTC. Now, Jeff, this one I want to get your opinion on, because this right here, this whole idea that Ripple can control the price of XRP or somehow have some sort of an impact goes also to a tweet that John Deaton put out around that we'll pull up here too. But this is the whole crux of the argument, that Ripple can control it. And now what JPMorgan is saying is absolutely obvious. And it's something a blockchain backer alluded to a little bit last night, that traditionally when we've seen Bitcoin go up and down, we've also seen the altcoins for the most part, especially XRP, go up and down. And this is exactly some proof of that, at least what they said. However, these developments have not fostered the growth of XRP, despite the widespread adoption of RippleNet and transactions. Symbolists argue that XRP price only moves alongside that of Bitcoin. With Bitcoin recovering from the previous bearish weeks that saw the cryptocurrency fall below 33,000, now it's back up to 44. XRP was also affected, trading around 57 cents at the time. Interestingly, following the market,
I think they made a mistake. That was his argument, is that it only moves alongside that of Bitcoin.
Well, that's what he's saying. I mean, obviously, that's not 100% true, but the bottom line is it's pretty close. Pretty much mirrors it a little bit.
But what is a fact is that XRP does not move up and down based on what Ripple does. Now, XRP did have a direct impact in price volatility to the downside with the SEC case when they filed against Ripple and said that all XRP is a security. Had the SEC just came out against Ripple, I don't know, and I don't know if any of us would know if XRP would have had the same impact that it did when they came out and said XRP was a security. Not just what their activity was, and that was the reaction. But I'm really Chip, really positive to see a 20% move. Just seeing the whole crypto space, because we're seeing a lot of FUD being spread by the
Oh, of
media,
course,
a lot
yeah.
of hype being. It's like, you can go crazy watching the media because one day it could be in the morning they're hyping it up, and by the evening they're already down on it and spreading FUD. The same media outlets. So that's why you got to do your own research.
You have to do your own research, but unless David Schwartz said, well, what if you're not a good researcher? And that's been my argument all along. See here, at least in the US, everybody gets a license. Now here's the truth. Not everybody's a good driver, Jeff. But it's like, oh, you get a license, license. Everyone gets a license. It doesn't make you a good driver, but you just get a license. So you see all kinds of levels of people's driving ability out there. The same with
That's true, and it's very emotionally driven. There's a lot of psychology behind it, and that's where and we were talking about this the other night, where people are drawn to having this sense of camaraderie, whether it's on the FOMO side or the FUD side. People want to be with like-minded people that are fired up, and they'll FOMO into the hype or the excitement, and that's what we have. Try to maintain the excitement regardless if it's a down market or an up market, because the excitement is in the development of projects. Some people are chasing after the media. If you look at I always reference Jim Cramer, because that guy's nothing but hype. By the time people are looking at stocks that he talks about, it's already too late. I mean, it's all over the mainstream media, and that's a lot of hype right there. But
well, look at this here. Look at this. We talked about mainstream press. This is from Charlie Gasperino, obviously over at the Fox Business Network. But he said this, breaking per Eleanor Terrett, who we had on the chain as well. People associated with the SEC case against Ripple believe case will stretch into the summer, but worry that the pending White House report on crypto could negatively impact Ripple's case by possibly classifying XRP as a security. Now, that we have to talk about. We have to unpack that because I have very strong.
He was on at 1:30 today.
By the way, we have that too. We have the video on that, so we'll follow it up with that. But before we get into the video, before you actually play their attempt to, for some reason it wasn't playing so well last time I tried, and you had to play it from your computer. But this, first of all, I don't believe you can classify XRP or any of these other cryptos, because how do you just? Well, we kind of see how the narratives go. You just come out and say, it's red, and everyone else is looking at it like, well, it's blue. It's like, we had that scenario with that meme going around, the dress, it's gray. No, it's white. It's this color. It's blue. It's all colors. Bottom line is, just because you say it doesn't mean it's true. You still have to break it down into decentralization, what the use case is, and how can you classify something that has that, how can you classify XRP as security when it clearly is not? So I get what Charlie is saying here, but to me, he's saying that, yeah, it could very well be that an executive order comes out and they say, Bitcoin's cool because Satoshi Nakamoto. What are you going to find it? What are you going to do? You can't go after somebody who doesn't exist, but every other crypto. So what are your thoughts on that? Just on the onset here.
On the onset of the hype.
Yeah, I mean, could it be? Could the White House come out and say that it's not XRP specifically, like XRP is secure? No, coming out and saying altcoins, most of them can potentially be securities, or potentially digital assets could be securities, or they are securities. Is that
Well,
a
you know, if the White
possibility?
House, yeah, I mean, the White House is going to do whatever the White House is going to do through executive order. And at this point, I was just having a conversation before, Chip, before we started up here, and I was, actually digging in specifically to, what could potentially happen because the question that was posed, this was before coming on live, is, as we look at, the movement of the space, what exactly is the government's perspective on this? Are they going to tax it differently? Do they, look at it differently? And our conversation kind of went to the point where, our current uh, our current political climate is very against the retail investor. And so, with that kind of climate, and you pass an executive order, it could be. I don't know that they would do that, because it would be very, very detrimental to the midterms, especially, but we're seeing some distancing of, people, you know, that are running against incumbents right now, trying to come out and they want to be pro crypto. We talked about this on Saturday. I pulled a candidate up. I think she's out in California. Yeah, we got to dig into
Yeah.
the whole platform because it's not just, oh, I'm pro crypto, okay, but what's the rest of your platform? Because if the rest of your platform undermines everything that crypto is important for, then what was the purpose of being pro crypto other than trying to sucker people in, to
Sucker
support them,
people.
you know? And so, but through an executive order, can they do it? I don't know. They can do whatever they want through executive order, and then it gets undone, but I think it would be devastating. I think it would be devastating for them, devastating for people invested. The rest of the world is doing something different. I just don't see them doing something so detrimental. What do you
It would
think?
see well, unless you just blow it all up on the way out. I mean, just blow it all up, see what you can get away with. How can you burn it down, the quickest? But that's like the candidate, the mayor of New York coming out and saying I thought it was an odd thing to say. It probably would have been best said during the campaign, but he said that's why they call me the Biden of Brooklyn. I was like, that's a weird thing to say. Here's pro Bitcoin candidate, and today he came out and was saying that he thinks all New Yorkers should eat plant-based diets.
It was very weird, Chip. I mean, is he a
Okay, I
vegan?
mean,
But
what
is
does
he
that
a
have to?
vegan?
I don't know, but what does that have to do with running a city, though? Really, I mean, what?
It has nothing. He needs to keep, unless he's sitting there and he knows how to cook and he's on a vegan cooking show and say,
It's on a vegan
you know,
cooking show.
but stop it already. It was New York. Do you remember those huge cups you used to get soda in New
Yeah,
York?
they're
You
like
get the huge
64
ones,
ounces. Yeah, the ones from
and then it was
7-Eleven.
under yeah, and then it was under Bloomberg where they got rid of those big cups. They said because people are drinking too much sugary sodas. I'm like, oh, okay, that's gonna do it.
They got
Get
rid
rid
of
of the big
straws too, Jeff, because
get rid of the big cup.
you just say one run. You want to save plastic. One run. We're pretty religious about this in our house. We have bags every time we go to the store. We have our bags, man, and I like them better because first of all, I can pack the hell out of them, and I can just carry like 2 or 3 of them, and I don't have to have 40 bags with 3 things in it to carry in. And you look at one day how much plastic. But no, Jeff, the straws were the problem. 0.00001% of something found in the ocean were straws, and let's ban all of the straws.
It's not
Just,
necessarily the big straws. It was the little coffee stirrer straws that got stuck in the turtles' noses.
that's not a good thing, Jack, because I love turtles, but that's
Turtles
not.
are cool.
Turtles
Those
are
damn
cool.
turtles
Dolphins
and
are
the
cool. I love fish. I mean,
those damn turtles and those coffee stirrers. I don't know.
yeah. Let's see
I
if
don't
we
know
can.
what they have with these coffee stirrers.
Well, those coffee stirs I'm okay with, but and a lot of them just go into the cups here, but I don't know. I mean, those paper straws, like 2 sips, and those things turn into mush. It's pretty rough.
Nothing tasted good through them.
It's like,
Oh, it's horrible. So they're
it's
bringing
like
back
it
plastic.
collapses, and it's not a good thing.
Long live plastic straws.
Let's see if we can play Liz Claiborne here. Charlie Gasperino was on there. Let's see if this works. Let me cue it up here. Hopefully it'll play. I hope so.
Bitcoin has regained the 42,000 level. Now look at it. Bitcoin has regained 44,000 over the last couple of hours. We're at 44,301. Crypto price action all over the place is looking good. Green arrows across the board. We do have US Ethereum. There it is.
Is it me, Jeff, or is Liz Claiborne turned into Miss Crypto? I mean, she's like,
Oh,
we have
she's
green
excited.
arrows across. Next thing she'll be talking about the death cross, 702 Fibonacci retracements. I mean, she'll be before you know it. She'll be doing TA. I don't even know. She's just incredible the way she's like. She seems passionate about it too.
Right, that's right. Check this out real quick. Abe, obvious services, plant-based diet. That's a code that XRP is ready to pump. That's right. Everybody, plant-based diet.
Avi, you are absolutely right. That is code right there. I love this. I love this stuff, Jeff. This is what makes us doing so fun. Let's listen in. She's just like greatest day ever. And is Litecoin in there? Of course it is, Jeff.
There's Litecoin.
Litecoin. There's Litecoin.
There it is. You got to put the Litecoin in. Where's X? And there's X. Notice how it's always the top four. It's always the four from that 17, 18 era when the media was all fired up. And these are the ones people are going to gravitate to. You know, they were the originals. People like talking about them. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP. And I love how Fox Business is still fired up about XRP and putting it up there. You know, it's almost like
they are.
It's great.
Yeah, and I love, and I have to say, you know, really, Charlie Gasperino, Eleanor Terrett coming on the scene and being a force to be reckoned with. They put out that phenomenal piece, just covering the whole SECV Ripple. If you haven't read it, it's a phenomenal piece of journalism because nobody else is talking about it, let alone on the mass media shows. They're talking about everything that you might expect them to talk about, things you would, the normal stuff, right? The normal sort of the narratives. And it's good to see an actual business show covering real stuff. And we got K-Hud here for the big support here. Appreciate that, K-Hud. She's got some emojis, not really knowing, a little bit not knowing, probably on my last thing about the whole pump. It's code for pump. Jeff, everything we say, if I say a certain thing, that's code for pump. So let's listen in and let's listen to what she has to say. And let's listen to Charlie.
Is up 7.5% to 3180, back above 3,000, right? Finally, and XRP up 24% this afternoon.
Hell yeah.
The spikes come ahead of the release of the White House's executive order on cryptocurrency that's set to come out this week, Charlie. I mean, we thought it was going to be maybe last week, but why is a rally tied to something like this?
It's like that Shakespearean sonnet, I think it was, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in at this petty pace. Mm-hmm. I'm just showing off a little here, Lizzie. But
I love that. Charlie's showing off. He's got those little Shakespeare in there. That's another thing you don't hear. You won't hear somebody quoting Shakespeare on one of those other ridiculous networks, Jeff. Let's face it.
That was very impressive.
And look at this. This is from Sam Ross says, they said XRP was going to zero. Well, what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. 28.2%, baby. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Hey, you know, this is a funny comment. I love the gray man. The chat always has a totally different conversation. The Chip and that other dude. I hope they would engage in their audience. Chip, are you talking about Kef or Simon?
I think he's talking about Kef right there. If I'm Chip, you're the other dude. So you must be that other dude.
I must be.
You know, Chip and that other dude. We always say that there's a show within a show. That's a separate show. People are talking about stuff, listening. It's a cool thing. You can be listening. You don't have to be paying attention really, but you can be in the chat listening. And oh, look at this. Jackie said it right there. Somebody knows something. Right there, Jeff. Somebody knows something. You see that?
That's right.
I know.
And Sam says hello to everyone in the chat.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. So let's listen in. So look what we have here. We have Liz Claiborne fired up. She says, keep your eye on the prize right there. Eye on the prize. That's code right there, Jeff. Look into the distance.
That is. She's obviously, you know, seeing eye to eye. We're connecting here.
So Charlie's going to lay it down for us. Let's see what he has to say about this.
I'm going to start wearing a name tag. I'm going to get it, Jeff. No, it's not.
Well,
not that it's not on our images.
It is on our images when we go here. This is Chip and Jeff, or Simon and Kef. It's a Simon and Kef show. But it is there. But when we go to this mode, you notice, Jeff, it seems to disappear after a while.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, Micheladas for everyone.
There it goes. See, now it's gone.
Here we go. Micheladas for. When we put up the comments, that's when it disappears. All right.
Hey, Johnny.
Hello,
Johnny. All right, let's
All
listen
right.
in here.
Let's go.
Listen, I would say
gods,
this
it doth amaze me.
yes, I would say
Caesar.
this to the average person that holds crypto that wants to trade. This is a very volatile trading market, as you know. That's no news. There's no news there. And some of this stuff seems to be trading irrationally. Here's what I think is happening, based on speaking with traders, talking with people that are connected to the XRP Ripple versus SEC case, is that people are trying to game plan this report. This report could be very good for Bitcoin. It may just say Bitcoin is an established cryptocurrency, and there may be no effort essentially to rein in Bitcoin, which is why you might see Bitcoin up significantly. The other ones that's the question mark. And I'll tell you, I speak with people close to the case at Ripple. They're telling me that the case against them, it's the SEC essentially saying that XRP, a cryptocurrency that we use to finance the Ripple infrastructure, that was an unregistered security. That case could take a big hit here in this report, depending on what the report said. If the report says that Bitcoin is fine, but these other ones are questionable, well then, that could have an impact. And so you have to wait and see. And everybody's trading all over the place on this thing. The Ripple case, people are saying that this thing could be done this year. Just by some of the judges' motions, what the courts are allowing, net Ripple is coming out pretty good in terms of discovery. Not perfect, but they got a lot of stuff out of the SEC that the SEC wanted to try to essentially keep confidential. And this is stuff that Ripple is trying to use to show that there's a double standard, that Ethereum was given a free pass. Enabled to allow them to do security sales and not be declared and not have Ether, its cryptocurrency, declared as security. So
there you go, Jeff. So interesting.
That's a lot of he packed a lot of ideas into into this segment. And this guy, he's been doing, like, he's on the fast track of gathering information and doing research, and they're spending a significant amount of time digging in and researching this thing. So you've got between him and Eleanor, it's really, really impressive in the short amount of time that he's really discovered
Absolutely.
cryptocurrency. And he's had some missteps, but that's okay, because everyone's learning, and he's learning rapidly, and he's just been a huge proponent now of the crypto space. But what he was saying about Ripple's case with the SEC moving, and they've had a lot of positives, definitely a lot of positives coming out. So the question is going to be, what is the time frame here? Is it going to be March, April, May? Does it go to the summer? If it goes to the summer, does that mean it has to, it gets pushed to the rest of the, to the end of the year? Does it, fall before midterms? Does it wait until after midterms? This is, we're talking about the elections in November. So for those outside the U.S., there's elections here for Congress and other local
100
candidates.
plus seats pick up.
So there's a lot that's going to happen here by November. So what do you think, Chip? Based on what he's saying, a lot of positives, but between now and the elections, is there, what are your thoughts?
I'm forever an optimist, but just judging the way history looks and what we've seen so far from this administration, and we have Gary Gensler, who was the nominee, who is now running the SEC. We have another hearing coming up on Wednesday for somebody to run the gosh, it's eluding me right now, but another I would think a highly unsuitable candidate, but this is somebody else that's going to be nominated who claims they will. Well, let's not get into that. Let's just not. I'm trying to just tread lightly, but let's not get into that. But one of the things that Charlie said, which I don't really necessarily see it, because when he talks about, we see the IMF going after El Salvador, we see the World Bank going after El Salvador, applying a lot of pressure. I would think that this administration's more lockstep with that kind of thinking. If the U.S. comes out and says Bitcoin is cool and it's okay, it's just going to light everything on fire, right? It's going to cause a precedent, and I don't see that happening, because when you have certain factions of this U.S. government talking about the threat that digital currencies pose to national security. And the biggest amongst them is Bitcoin. So I just, as much as I would love to be optimistic and happy and sunshine and unicorns, it just doesn't seem like a likely thing to do. Now there's a flip side of that, that if you wanted to turn something around and you see that you are off the tracks heading down subterranean and you want to pull that puppy back on the tracks, well, then it would be a brilliant move to say, we're going to come out, we're going to do something that Congress wasn't willing to do. Now, that would be something I would absolutely welcome. I'd love to be wrong about this. I would absolutely love being wrong. Chip, you're wrong about that. Yes, it's a good thing. They came out and gave it a green light. I don't know, Jeff. I just don't see that other one happening.
Yeah, it's gonna. I
Look at this, Jeff. Don't you hate being on the outside, knowing you are on the inside?
yes.
I knew you were going to say, yeah. I knew it. I knew it. I knew he absolutely would say that. And then we have this from Gray Man. It says Super Bowl ads. Wednesday, judge may give us something, and Brandon executive order. Perfect storm, I'd say. Yeah, there could be something to that. The Super Bowl ads are going to be fun this year, Jeff. I think there's 5 crypto ads running this year.
There are
crypto-based or exchange-based.
I've got one here. I'm going to play it. This ad is really, really cool. It's kind of, real cutting edge. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Yeah, super cutting edge. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Let me play it real quick. Hang on.
Oh, no. Here we go.
This is going to be in the Super Bowl.
Oh, boy. Awesome. I know exactly which one you're playing, too.
Super cutting edge.
Go, Gary. Yeah. How did I know that was...
Go, Gary.
Well, the coolest part of that commercial, and if you're listening to the podcast, is the fact that their jersey changes to green. I don't know. Did you ever notice that, Jeff? I just noticed that.
Oh,
because I never really paid attention to the clip. We don't need to see it again. But anyway, let's circle back to this. Charlie has some other things to say here.
Remember, game planning going on here right now. This report is going to be interesting, and a lot of people think it could have an impact on the case, particularly if it comes out where it says that XRP is not a security. I want to get back to something that's happening on Wednesday, Liz. Gigi Sohn's.
Gigi Sohn. This is the one I was alluding to, Jeff. Let's let Charlie talk about it.
Nomination to be the FCC, an FCC commissioner. It's up and down. There's going to be
so this nomination is almost the nominations that are coming are just out of
left field.
The rhetoric and the isms coming out of these people it's remarkable on so many levels.
Well, you know what? Mr. B was wondering if Gigi is a fan of the Capitol Grill and was wondering if there's a Capitol Grill in Boca.
Absolutely there is.
But more importantly, I was wondering if there's a Capitol Grill, somewhere in the central part of Florida.
Of course there is.
Or maybe Burns Steakhouse.
Yeah, Capitol Grill's a great place too. But anyway, I don't know. We get too far deep in the weeds, but he basically talks about
another hearing. It's going to be Wednesday. And, if we're getting word from inside the committee, the Commerce Committee, particularly on the Republicans, is they're going to bear down on her. Listen, she's a progressive. You would think the broadcasters hate her, but there's some issue here where they believe that Gigi Sohn cut a deal. I'm not saying she did, but
so the deal is that she may recuse herself if there's anything to do with the broadcasting networks. Sure, Jeff. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
It's almost like fool us once, fool us twice. It's always the same. It's really the same thing over and over again. And you're like, oh, it'll probably be different this time. No, it's not. It's the same. It's the same thing. And then this is a story. I'll read this story, but there's a reason I'm pulling this up. But I want to pull this up there because we're kind of getting caught up in this entire hype about XRP, Ripple, the headlines, what these networks are doing. Here's one right here. Top crypto analyst. Ripple will explode after the SEC lawsuit. If you're willing to wait for an outcome, you're going to be too late. And that goes on to say,
if you're waiting for an outcome, to get in to XRP,
correct,
then it'll be too late.
Right.
So,
you won't be able to.
Yeah, and that's based on Thinking Crypto. Oh, an
No, this
interview.
was an interview with Tony from Thinking Crypto. Credible Crypto said that Ripple's tech indicators are not good. They show bearish signs. Still, XRP fundamentals make XRP a favorite to hold firmly. According to him, it may be too late for those waiting for the outcome to start buying because of the ongoing lawsuit. According to Credible Crypto, technicals are not yet looking good. XRP does not look that great right now, and I think we're probably going to go for these lows here, 50 cents, but you can see where we are now.
I like it.
And push into this weekly level of demand that we have here. Again, this level is significant because from this level, we saw a major move to the upside after what was essentially about 6 months of consolidation. So,
Yep. So a couple things here, Chip. First, IRS
zero.
Media, been around for a while watching the show, which is great. Big supporter here. Appreciate you. Well, he says, I watch the show all the time, all the way up in Ottawa right now. Ottawa's shut down.
Ground zero.
We've got the ground zero of the truckers. They're doing some good things over there. Now, then I'm perusing the comments here. I just had to take a side. Can you believe that? Settlement deniers.
Settlement deniers.
Them there be fighting words.
Well, that's the other narrative. It's like if you
100%.
look, but Mr. B,
100%
Mr. B.
Yes,
if
I
you
deny
look,
a settlement.
we're not denying it when he says settlement deniers. Listen, listen, and again, if we were wrong and there was a settlement, that's another great thing to be wrong about. However, just judging by the way things have gone, and Mr. Gensler, Daddy G's ego, the size of Mount Rushmore, I would think that he would rather fight to the death. He cannot go down being defeated because a settlement would be a defeat. And any settlement he'd want to settle for, which we know they've already thrown something out there, at least when the last chair was there, Clayton, he threw something out. They said they didn't want to settle. So if the settlement doesn't meet the expectations of Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, they're not going to settle. And how do you see Gary Gensler? You imagine him wanting to settle?
Hey, can you imagine? I mean, first of all, he's stuck in his living room. He doesn't know all this stuff going on outside, in the sunshine. But check this. Bullish Mr. K over here. Matching regulators around the world. No other jurisdiction sees XRP as a security. It's a globally recognized bridging
That's a great
currency.
point.
That's a huge point right there. Followed by Apex. I wonder if Judge Torres will actually hold the SEC feet to the fire of prior rulings or just keep playing judge like Nepper did.
Well, I gotta say, I've been reading some stuff too that I think is going to be pretty favorable, pretty fair, and I think both judges understand the monumental size of this case and its long-reaching aftermath of what is going to come. Because if you come out and say, well, okay, you might say you might make the argument or win an argument, you still got to prove it. You still got to prove that they were selling unlicensed securities. But that's not the part that any of us as retail investors really care about. The only thing we care about is that today's XRP is not a security. And like Mr. Gates pulled up there, who made the comment? Who was that was up there? He just pulled up the comment. Mr. K, the one before that.
That one.
Bullish Mr. K. That right there says it right there is that you're basically going against the entire world because there's not another country out there that has regulations that said it was a security. And that's something really difficult to go against. That's like a trout swimming upstream against the current. You look at Singapore, you look at Australia, you look at the UK, and then you got the US, which is just an utter disaster at this point. But that's the one I was talking about, Jeff. Thank you for throwing that up there. It's a really solid point.
Great comments.
Great comments indeed. So here's another little tidbit here. It said, let me get that off the screen there. There we go. Once the case is settled, you can expect the price of XRP to skyrocket. So if you're waiting to hear the outcome and the case to intervene, you're going to be too late. If you're betting right now and your bet pays off and XRP wins, XRP will skyrocket. And of course, Ben Armstrong, famously known as BitBoy, which chain backer will be on there. I think he's going on there next week, and that's going to be actually good to watch. You know, that I think that'll be a really great show to watch. If you're a YouTube following 1.45 million, can you imagine that, Jeff?
Yeah.
Can you imagine a following 1.45 million people?
And I'm imagining it.
And 800,000 on Twitter?
It's going to become a reality one day.
It's insane, man.
But you probably have to be, why Ben Armstrong? Ben
Look, I mean, he was there. Yeah, BitBoy.
BitBoy. Why BitBoy?
Well, because when you're a middle-aged man, and it's like you can't become BitBoy. It's like I remember Boys to Men. It's like, oh, we're Boys to Men back when they were boys, but then they're like all in their like mid-50s now. You know what I mean? Like anytime you use that word boy when you're, you know, it just doesn't work. When you start aging and you're like, you know, he started going by Ben Armstrong when he crowned himself the king of the XRP army. He started going by Ben Armstrong, which I think is better. I mean, I think it'd be better to make a name for him as Ben Armstrong.
BitBoy was a little, yeah,
I mean, it was a cute little name. It was a cool little icon, you know, a little mask and stuff. I mean, look, it was a thing. He did it right though. He got in at the right time. He put his money where his mouth is. He got into Bitcoin early and made $1 gazillion. So, you know, you can't argue that. Well, you like him or not, he's done very well. He's attracted a following. God bless him. There you go.
BitBoy. You should hang out with the Island Boy.
Recently, Island Boy. So recently, a Fox journalist brought up an extremely intriguing question. She asked that if the SEC legal team declared Ripple non-security in 2018, what changed 2 years that made the SEC file a lawsuit against Ripple? That's an intriguing question. Who was that brought up that extremely intriguing question?
Interesting. A Fox journalist once said.
Declared Ripple a non-security in 2018. Now, their legal team. Let's unpack that. So, Eleanor Terrett recently questioned the ongoing lawsuit between the SEC and Ripple. Ripple Labs and the U.S. security. According to Terrett, the SEC legal team reviewed Ripple. Okay, yeah, I remember this. On June 13, 2018, the day before Hinman's speech on Ethereum security status, it came with no recommendations to hold Ripple and its executives accountable for security.
Yep.
For security, there you go. This fact made her think about what might have led to the change in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, man, you look at money. You know, there's so much money involved at this point in the Ethereum Foundation, and all those projects built off the ERC20, and you know all the different elements that are benefiting from the smart contracts of Ethereum, the high gas fee, the high transaction costs. Everything that's kind of bogging it down. But regardless, there's something else pulling some strings, behind the scenes, whether it's nefarious or not, don't know, but there's more being orchestrated. And I think that's kind of what she's saying there too. Why do you go all these years, right? And basically when there's entities or individuals within the entity that are reaching out and saying, hey, I want to, what's going on? I mean, the SEC hasn't given any kind of guidance, and they're asking for guidance, and they're just ignoring it. And would you assume that, when you ask for something and they ignore, that's kind of, approval in some way, shape, or form, or are they just not interested? It's just like too much time elapsed, Chip, with the, the SEC just kind of ignoring it. And then all of a sudden, why was it on Clayton's departure? Why was it before Gary Gensler takes over? Why was Gary Gensler meeting with Clayton before? There's all these different elements. That
things that make you go,
Yeah, they just don't add up. It's just kind of crazy. So K HUD is saying XRP XOM Slim Malama Ding Dong.
Slim lama lama ding dong. So that's a slim mama lama ding dong. There you go, right there. And then you have this from Andrew says XRP is made in the USA. Why would they mess this up during a massive race in crypto adoption worldwide? Something smells fishy for sure. And that's also a very good point. Yeah, it's made in the US. It's a US company. Ripple has vowed to stay in the US. They could have easily moved. They could have moved anywhere and said, we're out of here. We don't have to play this, but they're not.
Yep.
So, and they're also right. So there you go. So I think that's a really outstanding comment there as well.
See that from Stuart? Your 312 followers are worth like $1 million easy.
At least without no doubt.
But I agree with that. Liz is saying you two will get there. You're early to the party. But that's the thing, is like we have quality. There's
Do we,
quantity.
Jeff? I don't know
We
if
have quality. We got quality people in here.
We have the best people, that's for sure. And it turns out that maybe they're at the best and brightest. That could be part of the issue there. So we have here from Gray Man. He says, that fish that smells, another fact showing USA up for sale. ETH was the buyer. Yeah. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's fishy smell is another fact. Yeah, when you start looking at all the stuff, it starts to look a little bit weird. It starts to look a little bit funny. Look at this right here. Chris Dixon blocked John Deaton. He said, I've tagged Mr. Dixon once or twice, and I guarantee I was reciting 100% provable facts. For X Clayton instructed Dixon to put together a crypto working group to write a memo to send to Hinman, and the memo's safe harbor only mentioned ETH. Block me, but try to prove me wrong. And then you look at Chris Dixon. He has .eth in there. He's got cdixon.eth, which is one of those ETH.
And then he blocked him.
He blocked him. But that's what happens. You don't get into a public discourse. You go like, I just block you.
So
that's
easy to block.
It's so incredibly juvenile. It's like, I just blocked you. People don't like to talk about facts. They don't like to talk about stuff like that, Jeff. It's why would you want to get into that?
That's right.
I just do not know why you'd want to.
Bullish Mr. K, when a government regulatory body is committing obvious monopolization of an industry, there's obvious corruption on display.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, for sure. And I'm still intrigued by this, Jeff. I want to throw this up there because I think
87.
This is... What's that?
87. XRP 87.
Oh, wow. Sweet. Man, OTC needs to go to 20.
Like everyone's confirming it. That's how you know it's legit. It's all over the place.
It's legit.
Pumping.
El Jefe says it's legit. It's got to be legit.
Alchemist, half the YouTube channels have blocked me. You'll block me eventually too.
No, why would you do that? Come on, man. No, come on, man. Ain't gonna happen. Not gonna do that.
87 cents on its way to 589.
I'm gonna pull this up, and something happened in this tweet. I think I didn't have essentially the full URL or something along those lines, but
1982, all the way from Australia. What's going on? Love the work, guys. XRP to the moon.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much.
The moon.
The moon. I know. Finally, we're talking about Lambos and moon again, Jeff. It's been a while. We're starting to get back into it.
It's all good. It's exciting.
Now, I love this. I love this project a lot for so many reasons. Crypto investor and NFT creator Pack. This is a guy that's made close to $90 million on NFTs. He goes by Pack. He's anonymous. Nobody knows he, she. Nobody really knows the pronouns, Jeff. But anyway, phenomenal artist, intellectual thinker. They don't identify as an artist. And the recent collaboration with Julian Assange, proceeds from the new NFT collection will go in part towards Assange's legal defense.
Or something.
What's that?
It's up to like 13 million or 13.8 million.
No, it's 38 million.
38 million. I know.
38 million. I don't know what happens to these things. Something
big number. But you got M. Diane Hart is saying 6 months ago I couldn't even spell crypto. Oh, crypto. Okay. And there's so many people coming in. This is the thing, in this short period of time, people are learning and getting fired up and excited about the cryptocurrency space, and it's Jeff, how long have we been we've been doing this stream together? And it's like the funniest thing is, my mother calls me today and she's asking me about cryptocurrency, right? And then she's like, well, you guys do a show about it, right? I'm like, yeah. I've only been talking about it for I don't know how long. And she goes, well, how much does it cost to join? I was like, join what? How do I watch on YouTube? How much is it going to cost to watch on YouTube? It doesn't cost anything to watch us on YouTube. And I was trying to explain the whole crypto because I was watching the Fox Business thing, with Gasperino.
Nice.
People are getting fired up. So I know when it's kind of getting, people's, excitement up, it starts hitting close at home. You start seeing it. The people around you start asking questions.
Well, that's, I was just talking to my dad yesterday, and he said, well, I'd like to watch it on the TV, but your mother's always watching the shopping channel, so she's watching one of her police dramas. I'm like, Dad, it's on YouTube. You don't have to watch it live. You can watch it at any time. He's like, oh, I didn't think about that. I was like, yeah, you don't have to watch it live. Yes, we broadcast live, but 80% of the viewership watches it on the replay or listens to the podcast. So
Amazing.
I'm like, you don't have to. I mean, the whole part of doing it live is generating it and having comments and having that energy. Because I got to tell you, when Jeff and I were doing this, each of us were doing it separately. We each had a channel, and that's why we have 2 channels now. That's why we have the other channel. But I tell you, when you're sitting there doing it, and you're looking at your computer, you're talking to your computer. Now it's easy when I'm talking to Jeff, and there's obviously people in the chat, right? Look at this right here. Mel G, good to see you in here. He says, I just got my BFF to buy her first bag yesterday at 71. Had to let her know this is not normal. Hey, don't get excited, because this is those things they always say, Jeff, like, oh, these results are not what they say. They say they're gonna buy something, they go, these net results are maybe abnormal or not the norm, or something along those lines. But that's like already, like, you right now, Mel G, are a god right there. It's like, okay,
Right.
What else should I buy? What do I do?
Helping your friends out. Now, then you got, XRP Panic actually started watching us when he was 16. Now he's 72.
Holy cow, man.
That's how time
God,
flies.
then how old am I
That's
then, Jeff? We must be ancient. Jeez.
We're up there. Sophie is
Thank you,
out.
Sophie.
Great show again. This one wasn't weird. Chip and Jeff and the OTC family watch 6 days a week. Hit the like.
Wasn't weird. I thought that was in there. Look at Sophie
wasn't
said
in
she's
there,
going to
no.
ever rebrand it,
That was
because at
not
one
in
time
there.
she said the show is just weird tonight, man.
It was pretty weird.
She was. It's just weird. The show's weird.
And Mr. Wright he's accurate right there. The fastest hour of crypto around. Great stuff. XRP moving over $1 by morning. Man, that would be great.
It'd be great to see, man.
See things blowing up over there. But he's right. The hour in OTC world goes a lot faster than outside of OTC world. It amazes me how fast hours go by when we're doing this.
Yeah, because I mean, you look and it's, I don't know. It's because I don't know. Even last night, like, we got a little bit long in the tooth there. We started wrapping up right around the hour mark, and then 18 minutes later, you look at the video from yesterday with blockchain backer as the guest, and we went 118, and we don't usually do that. Every once in a while we do make exceptions, and I think we did that also because people were like, wait a minute, blockchain, because some of the comments were blockchain backer was on OTC before, and he was, and the reason he was because we did an anniversary show, and he came in, asked a question, Crypto Eddie came in, asked a question, Jungle was there for a little bit. We had everybody coming in. I know Tony from Thinking Crypto wanted to. He just happened to be driving at that time, so he said he couldn't do it. But we had all of our pals in the YouTube community come in, and we invited a lot of people, and the ones that made it were just nice to see him. James Rule was there, so it was great to see.
Mel G, comment now. Mel G, actually, this is Mel's first anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Mel G.
Found us February of last year.
When we had the same amount of subs, we had like 100 less, about a year ago. So
no, a year ago, man.
A year ago, I think we were like 7,000.
7,000 a year ago. So we've this past year has been, immense growth for sure. On the chain. Been awesome.
For sure. Absolutamente, Jeff.
You got Hog Whiskers, could chill with OTC all day long.
Name. That's a great name, Hog Whiskers. That's why I love the names, The names are fantastic. Hell, you would. Why not? And we will have an opportunity to do that, where we will have like a hangout. It'll be like a private hangout, and you guys get to hang out with us, and for all 6 of you that want to do that, that's be a great time. Right, Jeff?
That's awesome.
Look at this. FTX will give away Bitcoin during the Super Bowl, but wait, there's a catch. The number of coins shared by 4 contest winners will depend on when the commercial airs. So interestingly enough, now Jeff, this is
when it airs, it was actually 0. Sorry, guys.
Sorry. when it airs. FTX, leading crypto exchange, said it's given away hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bitcoin through a tie-in with the Super Bowl commercial. 4 contest winners, according to a series of teaser trailers posted Monday, will split a number of coins based on exactly when the end ad appears in the time zone. So if FTX commercial airs at 9:02 Eastern time, the exchange will give away 9 Bitcoins. And, the funny thing about it is FTX, I don't think they're like, because I think the further you go into the game, it becomes less expensive, or I forget how that works. So it'd be interesting to see. So
those guys are blowing up.
So
FTX is awesome.
Out of nowhere, 3 years, and they're like they just own the. So anyone who follows the company's Twitter account, retweets it, its pinned tweet after the air ads is eligible to win. Wait, after it? Let's see this. Let's break this down.
Say that again.
Yeah, it's like a lot to think about right there. Wait, it's
Read
like too much.
Again. They're giving away $1 million. Wait,
look at this right here.
Million. They don't
even
know
what
what
says,
they're giving away.
We are so early.
So they have no idea when it's going to air, I think is the point. So whenever it airs, whatever time it comes on, that's how much Bitcoin they're giving away.
So you want to give it like 11. Yeah,
so let's say it came on at
10
have
to know.
They're giving out 10. But let's say it was at like 10:05. They would give 10.5 Bitcoin away. That's the excitement. Where'd he go? Chip just left. He said, hang on a second. And he leaves just like that. All right. That's great. K-Head, we're so early. There's so much great stuff. You just disappeared. You just left, and that was it.
Well, what I was trying to do, I trackpad myself right out of here. I accidentally hit the trackpad. And I was attempting to go ahead and show the screen because share the actual audio on this because we want to actually listen to this.
Simon is gonzo.
No, hang on. Simon's back. Everything's cool. Be cool.
Oh, we need. Someone's saying, yeah, I gotta pull this up. Fiat.
Here we go, right here. Let's listen to this thing.
And Fiat leak is going crazy.
I've been talking for 33 years.
Okay, hang on. Can you guys hear that? You hear that, Jeff?
Yeah.
Here we go.
I've missed out on talking for 33 years, but I'm not missing out this Sunday. FTX is giving away the time their ad runs in Bitcoin, and I'm going to win for charity.
That's awesome. That's
for
awesome.
Charity.
And these guys are they're so great. I love it.
Jeff, have you seen that there's the, I guess they call him the mattress giant. He's out of Houston, Texas. He was not allowed to place a bet in Texas. So he drove over the state line to Louisiana and he put down a $4.5 million bet on using the Caesars app for who? Cincinnati Bengals.
Man.
That's who I think is going to win as well. I think they're on fire. But you know what? I think I knew for the NFC that the Rams would be in there because I just thought they were just had everything working this year.
Man, if you pull up XRP on Fiat Leak, it's going nuts. Fiat Leak in general is going crazy. I mean, just like if you look at the amount that's been traded in XRP just in the past minute. Remember, we used to pull this up all the time, and it's just like stuff flying all over the place. But the 2.2 million trades in the past minute. 2.2 million. Good stuff.
It's so funny when it's going down, the buying stops. When it's going up, everyone's jumping in. It's exactly what Blockchain Backer was saying last night. Let me throw this up there and see what we got here. Let's see if I can throw this up here. Let's take a look at the Fiat leak. Wait, Fiat, what's the tangled what is this? Millex, what the hell?
I don't know.
Well, let's go ahead. I'll throw it up here. Share the screen. Let's share the screen. Let's look at this puppy. There it is right there. Bam, going crazy. Look at that thing roll, Jeff. That's like the fastest I've seen it go in a long time.
See, right?
It's just zipping by.
Even though Moneybags, not Bob, said FTX screwed up his blockfolio. So, yeah, there's always some give and take.
Check out Asia over there, man. It's flying. Look at that. There's some interesting buys in there, too.
Robert Morris's comment go. Robert Morris said he's coming down here to get some coffee with us when Moon.
Oh, hell yeah.
You can come down before Moon.
There it is.
XRP.
XRP. Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh,
Fiat leak.
hydroponics, Alan missed the whole stream. Almost working unfortunate crazy hours. It's a good thing you can watch it on the replay.
Yeah, man. Just back it up. You just rewind it and
That's
pretend it's live. That's all. You don't get the interaction, which I know that, that's. Now, Jeff, what was funny?
OG plays us at 2x.
Yeah, there you go. It goes by even faster, right? I watch podcasts on usually 1.5.
Like yeah.
Now, Jeff, this is an interesting article that I found out there, and it goes right in line with what Charlie Gasperino was saying.
Citizen.
Because he was saying, remember he was quoting Shakespeare, and look at this right here. Here's out of nowhere. Shakespeare would root for crypto.
Oh no,
Shakespeare.
An NFT.
This article's educational on purpose represents my personal view only. See that disclaimer at the top doesn't represent that of any institutions that I'm affiliated with over the past, such as Ripple. Though I do hate him as I do hell pains, yet for necessity of present life, I must show out a flag and a sign of love, which is indeed but sign Othello, Act 1, Scene 1. There you go. This is Anthony Hopkins. So yeah, Othello is a great example of a proof of work blockchain. And Othello, Lago was caught with his evil schemes in a public forum where multiple validators provided witnesses, primarily his own wife.
There you go.
And the villain was caught. In contrast to Othello and Hamlet, public forums never took place. Everyone died. There you go. So yeah, it's an interesting, it's a fun little read there. But again, of course, you can obviously see Lago stags his wife from behind, you rotten villain. Wow. And let's see, who was the one that penned this article? The former Rippler. Does it say?
Nope.
My blog. Who? This is Paul Chen. Wait, he's not at Ripple anymore? Wasn't he doing business development over there?
No, I guess not. Said he's not.
Huh.
Done.
That's interesting. I'm going to have to look for that, Jeff.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are way over.
Yeah, way over. That's
I don't know how we did that, but
we almost touched 300 tonight. That's awesome. Great show tonight. Awesome having everybody in. Great commentary. We're stuck over in the show. I'm watching the other show, Chip. It's all the comments over there. Good stuff. We do stream 6 days a week, so you guys get 6 days of this, and that's Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're brand new here, subscribe, hit that bell notifier. It does help the algorithms. We bring great content. Last night, obviously, we had Blockchain Backer on. If you haven't seen that one yet, go check it out because it was epic. That was a great show. You can go to onthechain.io, check out all the different shows that we've done. You can click on the interviews and go back and see all the different specific special interviews we've done with people like Blockchain Backer and Eleanor Terrett, from Fox Business, different congressional representatives. We've got Tom Emmer and Warren Davidson and David Warrenson, good old Warren Davidson, and we had Alex Mashinsky back in. It's been a little while.
We got to get Alex back on this show and talk.
We'll get him back on. We got to get him on. We got to get Pat Toomey on here. We got to get Mayor Suarez on from Miami. We've got all sorts of things we still got to do. So a lot of great stuff. Looking forward to seeing everybody back on again.
That's it, guys. We will see you. Chip and Jeff out. Simon and Kev out. We'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.